we did put a wrap on college football last night. Let's go there.
Yep.
And I don't know about you, but my overwhelming feeling about the national championship and the college football playoffs, right, that everybody wanted 12 teams and all that, was that it was a flop. I don't feel good about it. And we saw last night Ohio State, they basically ran out, and, Notre Dame made it. The score close, but they got run out the building early. It looked like it was lopsided, right?
Yeah.
And just to prove the point, Ohio State, the average margin of victory in this college football playoffs was 18 points.
Yep.
That's not competitive. Would you agree with me on that?
No. I mean, we were hoping for more of the the games where you can one-score games, close comeback drives, get a little bit of that. You understand every game ain't going to be close, but.
And here's the other one. First-round games decided by an average of 19.25, almost 12. Yeah. That's blowout, right?
Yep.
Would you consider that?
Yeah.
And the playoffs in its entirety were decided by an average of 14.8, so basically 2 touchdowns plus 3 scores.
Yep.
I mean, and here's the last thing.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was a day late and $1 short, that it was too late. January 20th seemed very late for college football when they stopped playing, right? Don't they stop playing before Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
think about that. That's like 2 months.
Yes. That is one of my main, literally, you can see right here, I wrote too long into the season.
Did you enjoy this college football playoff?
No, it wasn't enjoyable because we didn't get the matchups we wanted. You got some teams in there who deserve on paper, but we knew they didn't stand a chance. So you kind of got the combination of that. And again, too long into the season, right? We got NFL playoffs. We ready to lock and load. We getting close to conference championship games. And remember we joke, we got inauguration. You're like, it's a national championship game on today. Historically, big games, really final games of the season. That's why the Rose Bowl was the Rose Bowl. New Year's Day, you knew I got this big game. USC taking on Michigan, Ohio State, whatever this big game was going to be on the first. Then we got the BCS. And that era usually ended around January 3rd, January 4th. So you kind of had it all. Like, you knew your week. You knew what you were looking forward to. You knew when to order your Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop. It was a whole thing. January 20th, this hang. And you know what's about to happen. You know they're going to go to 16 in the next year, 2, 3, 4 years, which means 24. What are we going to February, the day before, the day after the Super Bowl?
No, it'll be the day that pitchers and catchers report to spring training.
Right, exactly. So that's a big issue that I have with it.
It wasn't compelling to me.
It wasn't
and I don't want to be
compelling.
The old man, get off my lawn, but I'm being honest. It was not compelling. I'm not the biggest college football fan growing up in New York.
The litmus test being no one was talking about it, really. Like, it wasn't like you usually get big games.
Didn't it sneak up on us?
It snuck up on. I'm even talking about the earlier games as well. Now, to be fair, first year at it, maybe they fix it. They work out the kinks. Some of the issues are you got better teams not getting the bye because you got smaller teams who won their conference, so they're getting a bye that they would have been eliminated in the first round. Now you start to get some closer matchups, but you got teams that are getting these byes because they won their conference and they're not that great.
But the first round was almost 20 points.
That's bad.
And
we talk about some NFL. There's been some point, differentials, some betting lines that were kind of crazy.
Rob G, you're a college football guy, all right? You love college football.
I was going to add one thing real quick, Rob G. The one thing I will say, and this goes back to Ryan Day, and even I think will benefit in Alabama. I think it's going to benefit Georgia, possibly a Michigan type team. The one thing that used to be was if you lost one game early, that better be it. That better be it. But now with this, you can lose at the end of the game, literally the end of the season if you're Ohio State, to Michigan, and still have a chance because if that's only your second loss. But I'll tell you what it does. It does reset the season for the good to great teams. Like if Alabama loses in a big in a SEC championship game to, say, a great Georgia, an undefeated Georgia, they're not out of it where we might get a great collision again of Alabama-Georgia because they're not out of it, or vice versa. So I do think because these are so long, it's not a one-game thing because it's a literal start over of the season, a la Ohio State. We might get some better matchups because they're not automatically eliminated. Where now I have to put in a middling SMU, Boise State because, well, Alabama, you lost your 1 or 2 games, or Georgia, you lost, or Michigan.
But the pushback is that the Michigan-Ohio State game doesn't matter. It's being downgraded. All right. Normally, if Ohio State lost to Michigan, you would be almost eliminated from the idea that you're going to have a chance to win
the only loss,
a national championship game. Would you admit that?
Most of the time, yeah.
All right. And so they lose in embarrassing fashion at home to a bad Michigan unranked team. It doesn't affect them, and they go on to win the national championship. That's what you don't want to have. You don't want this to be the NBA where the regular season doesn't matter and you can lose 2 or 3 games and still have a chance to win the national championship. That's the scary part.
Well, I get what you're saying historically, but I think what you're going to have, since it's, again, multiple games in this postseason now, that I think you're going to end up getting some great matchups. You're going to get a very good Clemson, Georgia, Michigan team.
So you're good for 4-loss teams.
Now, see, 4 ain't getting up in there. When they get to 28 teams, then yeah. But
I'm always pushing the envelope like Jared Goff having 3 interceptions.
Jared Goff,
you said that was extreme.
It was extreme. And he listened to the shows like, let me get one extreme in here. Right. Rob been wrong all season, but let me get him right one time. And matter of fact, I'm going to one-up you, Rob. I'm a fumble, too.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't even have the fumble mixed in.
Jared Goff, man.
Jared lost.
Jared Goff lost. He's sick right now.
College
football. Your thoughts, Rob G.
Look, I think I speak for college football America, like Rob speaks for baseball America with his Hall of Fame vote, and Kelvin speaks for Lions America, all 14 fans of y'all,
Lions America.
Outside of Detroit.
Sounds like a mad Raider
I
fan.
hated this college football playoff.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the reasons that Rob talked about, full disclosure, he stole my take during the pregame meeting.
Be quiet. Who am I, Jason McIntyre now? I'm just saying.
But quickly, number one, college football and its pageantry has always been associated with New Year's Day.
Yep.
Whether it's the Rose Bowl, the Outback, whatever your favorite Sugar Bowl is, you're like, hey, New Year's is the national holiday for college football.
100%. Even I knew that growing up as a kid in New York.
And then it came and went to a point where we didn't crown a national champion until the week of the conference championships in the NFL.
That's crazy, yeah.
Like that's a problem. And number two, this might be the hotter take. I'm so turned off by the idea of a 2-loss, 3-loss team winning the championship. Even if Ohio State, as we saw at their best, they're easily the best team in football. They blew everybody's doors
and we knew
off.
that, right?
That's fair. That's totally legitimate. I would rather have the BCS where we're arguing about 2 and 3. Like, hey, these guys never played each other.
Yep.
How do we know Florida State deserves it over Nebraska? And who should face USC? Like, whatever. I would rather argue about the gap between 2 and 3. And have just one champion where we know it's an undefeated Notre Dame versus an undefeated Michigan. It is what it is. I don't care who you play. That's what it is. Now we're at a situation where if you play in the Big Ten moving forward and you have 3 losses, you probably still might get in.
Oh yeah, because if you're Oregon and you lost to a ranked Ohio State or ranked Penn State and
then you lose in the
Michigan,
conference championship game to Penn, you're in.
You're in there. But here's the thing though, it's you having your cake and eating it too right now, Rob G.
So then would you real quickly summary? It reminds me too much of the NFL. I want it to be college football,
not the NFL.
Oh well, you better get over that.
I know.
Once they start dropping NIL and professional and money, all you getting is NBA and NFL light. You know what I mean? That's all you're getting right now. Hey, which one you want?
No,
you
wait
want
till
one?
they have the 2 conferences, like the American and National.
Yep, you're about to get
that's what's 100%. That's what's it's going to look exactly like the NFL, except for
North
played
and
on
South,
Saturday.
Or they're going to call it something else.
Yep, something like that. They're going to get rid of the Big Ten.
No, it's just going to be the Big Ten and the SEC. That's it.
Watch.
But the SEC spans all the way to New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the Big Ten is Big 28.
That's right.
It's 28 teams in the Big Ten right now. It's ridiculous. We all the way. They're about to add Hawaii to the Big Ten. I mean, it's that crazy right now. So, but you're going to have to get over that, the idea of that. But I think what will ultimately happen, though, Rob G, to your point, I totally get it, where you have Ohio State and Miami back in the day, undefeated, and you're like, this is excited through the BCS. The issue is...
And remember, people hated the BCS at the time.
But first of all, we're going to hate everything. Let's just start. By the way, we should have started the segment by, hey, we're all going to hate everything that they do. But I think the thing is...
We're all going full Rob Parker. We hate everything
full
today.
Rob Parker.
I like cheesecake.
We can name 3 things, and 3 of them ain't sports. It's cheesecake, a deal,
and Golden Girls.
And women under 30. That's it right there. No, I know what I said. I know he said the Golden Girls. That's just a TV show.
Okay.
Although you were breaking pelvics. But my point is that Roger, did I lose you? My point is, at least we're going to get competitive games, Rob G, where we get that 3-loss Georgia you're talking about versus that 2-loss Michigan or Ohio State, you know what I mean? And that's a real game. When you start getting these, Boise and getting blowouts and it's not happy, 20-point margin of victories just to appease that SMU, that Tennessee, that Boise State or whatever, just give them a chance they need to be in here, at least you'll start to get some competitive games.
So wouldn't that be the case for shrinking the field then?
Yes.
Well, we never asked them to jump to 12 in the first place.
No. If you shrink it, you have a better shot because you're not going to have.
Toothpaste is out the tube.
No, I
fellas.
We never even had 4 good enough teams. Like we did the numbers before
we used to do the numbers.
Like, the average mark was like 22 points a game.
And that was with 4 teams, and we're like,
so they were like, let's triple it.
Yeah, right.
Let's add 12.
We don't have enough to get 4 good games, and now we're going to do this. It's pretty bad.
They got to figure something out, or they don't.
All right.
Or they don't.